Just in here this morning, $9 trillion asset manager BlackRock. You may have heard of them. They basically run the United States. They run everything, essentially. They are filing for a Bitcoin ETF. This is coming from Coindesk. So what does this mean? We're going to break it down in this video, and this is a big deal. This is very bullish for crypto, the fact that BlackRock going all in here on Bitcoin. And as this bear market has rolled around, here's one thing that we have learned. Bitcoin feels like it's pretty safe, right? It feels as if Bitcoin has gotten so big and there's no governing body. So, right, there's none of that. Is it a security, right? It's deemed a commodity amongst all the governing bodies who have a say-so, like the SEC, like the CFTC. It seems like Bitcoin is the safest thing in crypto, which I know isn't like a crazy statement, right? It's not like breaking news or anything, but I think it's even more solidified now that we're seeing things like this come out. Again, BlackRock filing for this ETF. Now, let's dive into some of the specifics here, because what could this ETF look like? First and foremost, what is an ETF? Some people may be asking that question. An ETF in the stock market is kind of like a basket of stocks, right? So instead of investing in just Apple, maybe you invest in an ETF that encompasses Apple and Amazon and Nvidia and Facebook and Netflix and all these tech stocks, right? So rather than putting all your money in one company, you're putting your money in a bunch of different companies. A great ETF out there is the S&P 500, where essentially you're putting money into the top 500 companies all the time. Even when those top 500 companies shift and change, you're always investing in them. So whatever the top 500 companies are in the world at that time, you're in them, right? That's an ETF. So this would be similar here, a Bitcoin ETF. Now, this could include maybe tech stocks. It could include some other crypto elements. We're going to dive into the specifics here. So Coindesk reported this morning, and now that this application has been filed for the Bitcoin ETF, we're going to continue to kind of learn more and more about why BlackRock's doing this and what this ETF looks like. Now, the New York City investment firm is reportedly set to utilize Coinbase custody for the potential ETF. This is the institutional side of Coinbase. Additionally, the cryptocurrency exchange's spot market data will be used for pricing, according to the report. Now, Coinbase has refused to comment right now on this story, probably because it's just so new. The regulatory climate of the digital asset industry in America is rather unsettling. However, indeed, two of the largest crypto exchanges in the country, of course, just received enforcement action letters from the SEC. However, it hasn't determined one major investment firm from continuing its work with the industry. Again, BlackRock reportedly close to filing an application for a Bitcoin ETF. The firm would be working closely with Coinbase for this ETF. And they actually started working together last year, Coinbase and BlackRock. And this was through offering digital assets to institutional investors through their custody program. But now an ETF would be a huge deal. What would this do? I mean, this could bring in massive amounts of institutional investors. This paves the way for wider adoption, and that's what we want. You could sit here and say it's good and it's bad. There are bad things too, and I know the arguments on the bad side, right? We want this to be retail. We don't need the government involved. BlackRock's just another big government agency. Yeah, you're right, but what are you going to do about it? Nothing. All you're going to do is bitch, moan, and complain, but it's happening anyway. So look at the bright side. Institutional money is big money that's coming into the industry. It helps the 5% adoption curve. It's a step towards a more inclusive and robust financial ecosystem. So there are some good things, right? And let's focus on those, because you can't control what you can't control. Now, the SEC is, of course, the regulatory body that governs ETFs here in the United States. And again, the SEC has been pretty open to Bitcoin. Bitcoin's not the problem. It's basically everything else. Of course, going back to the Hinman documents, the SEC seems to like Ethereum as well. But they have rejected every single application for a spot Bitcoin ETF to date, the SEC has. This is coming from Coindesk. Will they reject this one? We'll see. It has approved Bitcoin futures ETFs for trading purposes. However, thus BlackRock's approval may depend on that distinction, right? If it's a Bitcoin futures ETF for trading purposes or not. We don't necessarily have that information yet. It's a little bit too early. So this is a good thing on the surface. The fact that BlackRock wants to get into crypto, they want to get more institutional people in. And this is just a reminder, guys, why Bitcoin is king. Why Bitcoin is the best investment in all of crypto, okay? Because no matter what, we're super, super early here to cryptocurrency. Okay. Bitcoin already, right now, a $485 billion market cap. But it's relatively small, all things considered, because we don't have big money in Bitcoin yet. We have some people, right? Some people. BlackRock opens the door for a huge amount of people to come into crypto and to come into Bitcoin. And it just, again, I think it proves that Bitcoin is the best investment in all of crypto. There's a reason why Bitcoin makes up a huge chunk of the overall crypto market, almost at 50%. Bitcoin dominance right now at 47.6%. You start excluding some of the stable coins, Bitcoin's dominance well over 50%. So that's what I've got for you guys in this one. Let me know how you guys think about it down below. But I think this is bullish for the long-term future of Bitcoin and in particular, long-term future of crypto here with BlackRock wanting to get in to cryptocurrency. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one. Later.